What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to Skill.exe has stopped working with the Orochi here. But did you catch this in the intro? While I was shooting the Ravana, for a split second, a scorpion spawned in, right? I was shooting the Ravana. Somehow the game detected that shot as hitting the scorpion, which immediately killed him. Can you imagine the feeling? Like, he spawned his robot, pop, instantly destroyed. Like, what the heck? Anyways, funny intro. We're going into the Orochi Mark III now with Shatter and Splinter in the one setup, and in a few minutes you get gameplay with the Ultimate Blaze and Igniter. And the last of them is probably even more powerful, especially against enemy Orokochis, okay? So I'll show you this a little later down the video. It's gonna be a long video again, with a nice compilation for you. But why am I making a video about the Orochi in the first place when I told you I will not do it until it gets fixed or addressed, right? Well, the thing is, it kind of has, at least to a certain degree. And that's what I'm showing you here. And I'm also showing you that despite things having been improved, they are still really bad. Okay, so it's both. And that's why Skill.exe has stopped working. Yeah, so what was before is a cooldown of only 6 seconds. That was, according to Pixonic, never supposed to be the case. The robot was always supposed to have a 12-second cooldown, which even 12 seconds is ridiculously short for an ability that lasts this long and provides complete immunity to everything, right? But now it is actually 12 seconds, which it was probably, I think, 6 or 7 before. So something was wrong, and it was completely broken to the point where there's zero chance for you even to shoot the robot before the next ability came in. And now it's just a little better. And you can argue and ask, hey, how is it possible that something this dramatic has not been addressed sooner? Yeah? How is it possible that during a time where the Orochi is making its sales in the game, this ridiculously short cooldown problem hadn't been addressed with a quick hotfix in 1 or 2 days? When it's just a little mechanic system thingy number that had to be changed to make it fit and work, right? Wow, I leave it up for speculation for yourself, you know what I'm thinking. But let's just show the new version of the Orochi with its fixed cooldown and see if it made things any better. Of course it did make things better, because now you have actually a little bit of time to attack the Orochi before he gets into the next ability. Here's also a very practical feedback for Pixonic that they could basically use immediately. It is very difficult to see and visually when the resistance immunity from the Orochi runs and when it ends. I really have troubles, and I'm playing on a large stream, and I have real troubles to distinguish when is the Orochi ability running, when should I save my ammo and not fire, and when is it over? When can I finally unload on him and deal damage because now the ability is not running? It is really, really difficult to distinguish and visually see the difference. So I think Pixonic, you should really try and bring something in that allows the player, the opposing player, to visually see it easier. An example, for example, it would be the Leech. With the Leech robot, it is really easy to spot when his ability is running and when not, right? Which is important, because if you shoot him at the wrong time, some other poor guy in your team is going to die from it, right? So you did a great job there, but with the Orochi, it's very difficult to spot that. So something I wish you guys bring in as an update, maybe with the next update or so, a visual, a more visual clearance for this. Make it more visually clear. And also please keep that in mind for upcoming releases with other robots in the future. It should always be clear to you when a robot is invincible and when he isn't, right? I mean, that's a really important thing. Now, you see, I am still... Oh, that hurts. This guy really hurting me there. These freaking Titan shotgun weapons are freaking powerful. And I did not want to take any of those hits, but there was no way, because the Orochi is not very fast outside of his ability. He is, however, really fast in the ability, and while the ability is running, there is just no chance to deal damage to it. It's basically completely useless to even shoot him in the first place. Just leave it run and just keep your ammo full and wait until it's over. And so, yeah, I'm showing you the 2 different versions in this gameplay, like I said, and you'll see that despite the cooldown having changed, the actual impact of the robot really has not. Because if this is one of those robots that's really ridiculous in terms of power that simply the robot gives you without any skills. If you, however, and that's a thing with a lot of meta players out there, the robot itself, you can kind of shoot it down. You can win against the robot if you're playing very well. But many of the meta players who run it are also really good players. And so that means they're not just combining the power of this robot with the power of the right drone setup, module setup, and weapons, but they're also bringing in their own pilot skills. And that's what really, really brings in the big problems. When you have a player who knows how to handle this thing that you simply cannot defeat. Because whenever his ability is offline, he's going to make sure he's not going to take any meaningful amount of damage in that short time. And you only have a chance to shoot him while he is invincible, basically, right? And so, yeah, I'm showing you how I can still spawn raid the entire enemy team without any hiccups, without any problems, and that with different setups. So, yeah, another nice long compilation on this beautiful Saturday. I'm not sure what weather you guys have out there, but here's sunny. Yeah, hopefully it lets the sunshine in your hearts as well. Because for me, it's like when outside sunny, I'm also more like sunny inside. So, let's keep on going. You see 13 million damage, easy 21 kills. Let's hop into the next match. The first thing we encounter is another Orochi here, who is actually running a Flamethrower build, but he's combining Flamethrower with the new weapons, probably because he didn't obviously have the ultimate weapons of all four laying around. Makes sense. I'm sure he would probably want to go with the full Flamethrower version here if he could choose. But yeah, so you see it's still a little bit of a struggle to get this Orochi out of the way, but once his cooldown is done, I can finally unload and deal actual damage to him. You will also see over the course of this video that while you can still spawn raid freaking easily, there is an end to it now with a shorter cooldown if they bring enough Titans. And previously, before that fix, you could spawn raid indefinitely despite the enemy team bringing multiple Titans to the battlefield. It was literally impossible to destroy a well-played Orochi with the right setups. Now you have 12 seconds in between that you need to somehow survive before the next invincibility kicks in, and that, if you don't, if you get hit a lot from Titan weapons in the meantime, then you're gonna die, right? So, Orochi can be destroyed, but it still takes a ridiculous amount of effort to do so, and a well-played Orochi typically just won't get killed. There has to be so much thrown at him. There has to be half a team of Titans thrown at him to really get this thing destroyed, and you'll see it here. So I'm here in a situation with multiple Titans, still easily taking out a target. I'm even locked and slowed and everything, and I'm still able to activate the ability and just bail it, right? I don't have to take the Titans, and that's another thing, the mobility that this Orochi has. Mobility has always been meta in War Robots, and if you allow a robot to simply change from one side of the map to the other side of the map in a few seconds, especially when we're talking about a tank type of robot, then I'm just sorry to have to say this is wrong. If a robot is tanky and meta powerful and so on, and it's a tank, then it should be slow. Then make it a slow tank and stay true to it, and even though, yeah, it will be a little less attractive, but it will be hard to take down. But the ability basically makes it so brainlessly overpowered and broken that you are so flexible, you can be a beacon runner with this thing. You can be a beacon runner with the most tanky, unstoppable machine in the game. How is that okay? Another beacon runner, I imagine, for example, is a Strider, where the balancing seems right. You have a very fragile robot that is, however, very quick, very agile, and is great as a beacon runner, but it is balanced because if you catch this guy off guard, or if you catch him in short range and you have a brawler ready, then the Strider is just going to be gone, right? Instantly. And that's where balancing is done right. Obviously, and this is something I just talked to somebody about on Discord, is that yeah, there is this aim here to deliver this to cater to a very small amount of players with the content being released, and these small amounts of players typically buy the stuff that comes in, especially since it's so powerful. And so, unless Pixonic would change a bit of the strategy to try and address a wider audience with their content, and instead not having to rely on it being so overpowered, then yeah, this will always be happening. But anyways, let's keep going. You see we're now in the third match with these shotguns. It's the last match. And this is the one where I just brainlessly rush the enemy base for so long until they have 3 Titans simultaneously blocking me. And remember, you get the Flamethrower in just a second, and I think the Flamethrower is even more dangerous and powerful. It's hard to imagine seeing what I'm doing right now. Look, this guy, he gets pushed around after spawning and he exits the battle. He's like, screw this, I'm out of here. And I can understand that, man. That happened to me too, right? I mean, this is just a thing that we will see happen. Pixonic, I'm sure there's a rising number of people exiting the game now with the Orochi pushing and pummeling them around everywhere. I'm sure that's a statistic you can probably also observe, and that really is something you should be very careful about, because this level of frustration doesn't keep players bound in the game for a long time, you know? It's a very, very delicate thing. Anyways, the next gameplay you're gonna get is the Flamethrower, and that's gonna be even more insane. So, we have an enemy Angler and Mutant Titan coming in. The Mutant Titan immediately lifts me, which leaves me unable to use my ability here. Great. That's good. But at the same time, we all know that that choke ability lasts too long. It's good when the choke ability is being used against an overpowered Orochi. No doubt about it. It's great. Orochi finally takes some damage and can't use his abilities in the right at the same time. Unless, like what I did sometimes here, uses the ability before he gets lifted. So when it's good about this thing, it still means that it's broken for all the other robots on the battlefield and making it impossible for them to even play. If you have played a robot on the battlefield and you have been chosen by a Newton to die, you know what the result is. You're gonna die. There's nothing you can do. You get lifted, you get killed. That's it. When you have a phase shift, then you're very lucky, because then you can survive through one of his shots, but the choke even lasts so long that he gets to shoot a second time. And why? Why does it a row of abilities this broken, this overpowered, can last so long, can have 800 meters range? I don't want to talk about it anymore. I already said it plenty of times. But yeah, it's great against the Orochi though, but not so great against the others. Now you see there's 2 Titans, one in front of me, one right around me, and I'm shooting the a little less powerful stealth Muromets over there. In the meantime, I get lifted by another Newton, while under me is the deadly brawler Titan. To my left is another Titan. I have like 4 Titans shooting me right now, and I finally get destroyed. And that was a well-deserved destruction that the team really had worked hard for. Now, can you imagine, when do you have a situation where you have 4 Titans shooting 1 player? Huh? If I didn't want that, with this level of mobility that this robot provides, I can just not have that happening to me. So, can you imagine how impossible it is to kill this robot? To have 4 Titan level firepower necessary to destroy it? That never happens. So if you're just even remotely aware of your surroundings, then you're never gonna get into a situation like this, and you're never gonna get destroyed. And yeah, with the setup of the Flamethrower now, even other Orokochis are actually something you deal with very easily. Here goes one of them down. Because the firepower is just outrageous that these Flamethrowers have, if you can connect the flames with them, which sometimes can be very difficult when the enemy is running around fast. And that's why I think the Flamethrowers, although probably broken and probably overpowered, the ultimate versions, only the ultimate versions, at least they require some skills to be aimed with properly. And that is something I enjoy about them, is that I like the styles of the Flamethrower, and I like that you need to do things a little right for them to work. Unless you're, like, face-hugging the enemy. But if you're firing from a little further away, even just 150 or 200 meters, fast-running robots like Orochis and Lynx, yeah, they can very easily dodge your firepower. And that's where your effectiveness and your overpoweredness goes down the drain immediately if you're not having the necessary aiming skills and anticipation of what the enemy is going to probably do. So that's great. I like that. What else was there? Oh yeah. And if you enjoy, by the way, this content, I should probably say this more early. If you like this kind of content with heavily cut gameplay, straight to the point, montage for you with all the action and the stuff, then enjoy. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, Leave a comment down below what you think. What would you like to see next? Because those things really help me in my decisions, and it also supports me in my general motivation to make content with this heavy editing in the first place. Yesterday I was recording this for can you imagine 3 or 4 hours I took? 3 or 4 hours recording this because I will only accept the best gameplay for you guys. I will not take anything other than the best with the most action. Yeah, so here we are. Alright, so you see even Titans, and that's the thing. That's where these flamethrowers take their full usability, is because big Titans typically have no chance to dodge your firepower. So every little bit of flame you fire does the full damage to them. Plus, it ignores all their physical shields too. That Heimdall has a physical shield. It doesn't matter one bit against these flamethrowers. That a Rook Titan has shields. Doesn't matter, you know? So these flamethrowers are really the most powerful thing you can run on an Orochi, especially in regards to shooting Titans. There is just nothing they can do. Because an Orochi cannot simply be taken down by a Titan. Not by one Titan. You've seen it. You need multiple ones. And you need ideal circumstances, the right timing, to really deal effective damage to the Orochi. Here's a leech, and you see, very easy to spot that he's shooting and leeching me right now. But he's leeching me. So the only one taking damage during that time is me. And I can shoot the leech while he's leeching me, especially since I was running my invincibility ability, right? So he's leeching back the damage, but the damage that arrives at me is non-existent because I'm running with my ability, so I can shoot him. And since I have the nuclear amplifiers fully stacked, I have a 20 or 30%, I think 25%, resistance breaking effect to my weapons, and I am actually dealing damage to him. Now here we have another Orochi, and he's running the new shotguns, a very up-to-date setup, but he has to fight not just me, he also has to fight the other guy. But in all honesty, the real damage coming in is going to come from me. I'm just going to wait for his ability to run out. You see, I'm not shooting, I'm not firing at him, because there's no point to it. Only now that ability is offline, I will begin to fire at him, and then you see how quickly he goes down. There's no chance for him. Actually, wait, is he having the ability running again? Yeah, that's another thing. The Orochi has the clever survivor skill. How do you justify giving the Orochi clever survivor skill? This is really something that blows my mind, because a robot like this, with such a short cooldown even in the first place, and such a ridiculously powerful ability, how can you give him a clever survivor that brainlessly gives him a second ability charge when he runs down to 50%? It's outrageous, because you cannot bring him down to 50% while his ability is running. It's impossible, because this thing is completely invincible. He can be at 60%, activates his ability, and you will still run the ability to the end, and then at 50% you trigger the ability again. It's so immensely wrong to give an Orochi clever survivor pilot skill. It's so unbelievably wrong. It would be just as wrong to give it to the Ophion robot, right? And the Ophion didn't get it. So why did the Orochi get it? In my opinion, this needs to be insta-fixed. There needs to be an instant hotfix update, like not yesterday, but actually weeks ago, to remove the clever survivor pilot skill from the available pilot skills on the Orochi. It is just not okay that he has that. It really isn't, guys. You know it, I know it, Pixonic knows it. But it's there, and so brainlessly you get to have two abilities without having to do anything right. You can run into 6 fully maxed Titans, and you'll run your first ability till the end, and then you'll activate the second ability and run it till the end, and then maybe you have Last Stand and Phase Shift, and you get a third ability for free, without any skills, without doing anything right. It's just not good for your game, Pixonic. But yeah, you see, and this is the end match here, where despite me running this broken, overpowered Orochi, I do at the end get killed. And I'm really having troubles, because everybody, either I shoot them away and I can't finish them off, because this freaking pushback always launches them away, which more often than not actually annoys me as an Orochi player. This is actually a detriment to me. I don't want this. I don't want to shoot my enemies 600 meters far away when I'm running a 300 meter range flamethrower. It's not helping me. So even for the Orochi player, this knockback is annoying, right? And and too constant, too frequent. So, and everybody either has a flight ability, resistance, shield, stealth, phase shift, whatever. I can't finish anybody off here. It's crazy. Because I need to finish them off in order to heal up, right? Because every time I kill something, I heal with my Kestrel drone. So, it's important to make kills. And I could barely get any kills in the recent few minutes, and so I was running low on health now. And so with my cooldown or ability on cooldown, I actually finally die. And that's something that would not have happened with the previous Orochi, so things have been fixed, but it's still absolutely broken. So with that, let's end this video, and hopefully you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. I wish you the best, and yeah, see you in the next videos. Manni signing off. Bye-bye, my friends.